Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on a beautiful day. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. Today, we're going to be talking about the dangers of when you stop believing in magic. You don't want to miss this one. All right, my wonderful friends. Today's message, this isn't clickbait. My friends, there is a true danger when we stop believing in magic. And it's so important that we pass this on to our children, because if we truly believe that our thoughts make our world, that our dreams can come true, my friends, we have to believe it at a heart level. What we believe at a heart level is what will manifest. And I'll tell you what, most of the world, you see it. I mean, it doesn't matter what religion, what form. Think about this. If you get sick and someone says, I'll pray for you, do you just fall down on your knees and think, oh, thank God, the doctor said there wasn't a chance, I was a goner, but now you're going to pray for me. My children will have their parents. I can live out my dreams. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, you're just thinking, well, isn't that a sweet gesture? Because you know nothing is going to happen. They don't have some kind of bargain they can make. If they could, they would have done it in their own life. They're sick. They're broke. They're a joke. How are they going to help you by begging some deity in the sky they don't even know or have access to it? It's just a nice gesture, my friends. And we see it even in the spiritual realms. There's communities, right? You see it on YouTube here where people get together and it's just a time to hang out. But the danger of that is it's just confirming in their minds that magic is not real. My friends, they do their little spells and their potions and they make up their little jars and nothing happens. Their mantras don't do anything because they don't truly believe it. And there's danger in that, my friends, because then you don't realize it. You're going through the motions and you're just confirming nothing ever happens. There's no God that cares about you. There's no ritual you can do. You were just born to lose, born to suck. My friends, this is the importance of what we're going to go over today in our Magi Magic. Magic was named after the Magi. Listen to what we have to say. My God, have I not proven? See this little silver plaque right here? A month ago, I had a piece of paper and I wrote out 100,000 subscribers. We will have it on Wednesday. What happened on Wednesday? We got that plaque. My friends, I was carrying around like a madman a piece of paper. People thinking, my God, it finally happened. Megas snapped. He's walking around with a piece of paper saying, look, guys, I got my 100,000 subscriber plaque. You know, my friends, I believed it. I didn't doubt it. I knew it. That piece of paper was the same as that. And it all started right here with a thought, with an idea, with a knowing. My friend, and I wasn't going to take no for one fucking moment. And you know what they always say, when you're doing magic, and I agree with this, don't tell anyone else, but I needed people to see it. My friends, I've told story after story after story. I said, will you believe it now? If I tell you on Wednesday we'll have that instead of this piece of paper, will you believe me? It's kind of iffy. I haven't got a lot of feedback. Of course, my writer dies. We did it, Megas. But people, they can't grasp it. They think magic and manifestation, it's just a nice thoughts, nice idea. And that's why they're always living in a hell created in their own mind. Don't even get started, Megas. Let's stay on topic. I'll probably blast off later because I got a lot of thoughts. Magic is speaking the omnipotent idea, Asha, the highest truth, the capital T truth, the real above all real, the only good thing that could come from a good creator's mind. My friends, it's peace without distress and dis-ease. It's the divine health where sickness and disease dies when it touches you. It's protection. It's provision. It's where people walk by and go, oh my God, why is he so blessed? And you try to tell them, but they can't hear it because they think God is just some deity in the sky that you beg out to, but never hears you. You must have done something wrong. You must be a filthy sinner. You must have impure thoughts. Maybe you can make a deal with him. Maybe if you stop jacking off, maybe I'm knocking stuff off the shelves. But that's how they think. If I stop doing this, he'll do this for me. If I do, maybe I'll give to charity and then he'll bless me 10 times. That's what they tell you at church, right? Give your pastor $100. God will give you 1,000. Has that ever worked for you, my friends? But we just eat it up. People love the lies. Why don't you just get the truth? It's so simple. Just speak the omnipotent idea, Asha. What is Asha, Magus? I'm glad you asked. We're going to get to that. Matter of fact, if you got your book Asha, grab it. We're going to be in Asha 15 and Asha 5. But first, I wanted to show you this. Visualize, and see how magic happens, right? You see this with every great artist, inventor. It all started visualizing it. Like me and my silly piece of paper with 100,000 subscribers. I felt it. All the feelings of having it. I hung it on my wall like a madman. I set it right there on my shelf, and I was talking like it was there. My friends, it all starts right here, and then we bring it into the world. I did that with a piece of paper and a pen. The pen really is mighty. My friends, visualize it. What would it look like? Then you have to have a reason to believe it. Otherwise, you're just hoping, maybe again begging a deity in the sky, trying to make a deal. You have to have a reason to believe. What's our reason to believe, Magi? Grab your book, Asha. If you don't have it, Asha by Winston Head, $3.83 at Amazon. Go get this book. And do me a favor, we got 103 reviews. If you haven't left a review, leave your review. It says, believe only the highest truth, and you enter Asha, heaven on earth, the perfect creator's perfect idea. Get this, as the wise Lord is perfect, so his idea of creation is perfect. Does that make sense? If you have a perfect being, and the world he's going to create is going to be perfect from his perfect mind. It's not going to be love and hate. It's not going to be peace at war. It's not going to be sickness and disease and you feel good sometimes. It's not going to be a hell on earth because he has no hell in his mind. My friends, our reason to believe the highest capital T truth, Asha, is the perfect creator's perfect mind had a perfect idea. The only thing that could come from his perfect mind. That's what's real. Everything else you see was made from not his mind, from mixed minds, from people that had good and bad, love and hate, peace and war. And what you hold in your heart and mind is what you're going to create in your world. What do you truly believe? Right? When someone says, hey, I'm going to pray for you. Are you all, oh, thank God? Or is it just, okay, oh, thank you? Right? Do you really believe it? What do you really believe in your heart of hearts? How do you get it to that deep of a level when the world reflects the mixed mind? It reflects the monster gods. Every world religion, pretty much other than ours, their gods mixed, right? He'll love and hate. He'll create and destroy. He'll heal you or he'll send disease. He can be at peace, but if you piss him off, we're going to war, right? He's a loving parent. Until you cross him, then you're going to go to hell, not just for like a jail sentence. You're going to go for eternity, and you're going to burn like a worm, and you suck, and he doesn't love you anymore. Well, they'll tell you he still loves you, but you just crossed that line, right? My friends, that's not the loving Father. That's not the true God. Zoroastrianism, the original monotheistic religion. Get this, God was just good. Unmixed, undefiled, undiluted. That's what Zoroaster means, pure starlight. That's the star the Magi follow. That's why we find our salvation. My friends, we're going to get deeper into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Asha 5 is the wise Lord is perfect, so his idea of creation is perfect. This is called Asha, truth. This idea of truth is the very spirit of God. It is much more than not making a false statement. It is the true vision of God's ideal existence. It is the real above all real, right? All that seems real. It's a capital R real, just like it's a capital T truth, Asha. There's a real world, but it's not the real world. It's not the perfect creator's perfect idea, my friends. So how do we get that? We're going to get into that in Asha 15. Matter of fact, flip over to Asha 15. I got so much I want to say today. What are 3 things the Magi have to teach their children? One of them's tell the truth, isn't it? Now, this tell the truth, it's not about, we joke about this. If your wife says, do these jeans make me look fat, honey? You lie like a dog. That's a falsehood. But that's not the lie this is talking about. This is the lie where you tell yourself that the world is mixed. The world is love and hate, peace and war. That's just how it is, right? That everyone gets sick. Everyone dies. My friends, that's the lie. The truth is, Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea. It's as high as you can dream and higher. And as we learn how to hold that, because you have to retrain your whole brain. All those neural pathways from teachings from mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, society, education, entertainment, the religions of the world. They've all trained you different than that. That's why when I say that, it rubs many people the wrong way, because they don't want to get their hopes up. I get it. Matter of fact, I'm reading Agnes Grey right now by Anne Bronte. So this is also a book channel. Yes, I go heavy on the Asha and Zoroastrian books, but we love all books. Don't leave me, guys, but this is part of the teaching. Hear this. So I'm reading Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte, and her father absolutely fell apart because he had such big dreams. Excuse me. And he thought he was going to be rich, and he's telling his wife and kids all the things they're going to do and have, and it all fell apart. He lost his mind. He lost his health. He lost his self-respect. He thought there's no way his wife and kids could love him and respect him, and he just crumbled, first in his mind, then in his body, then in his world. That's a real danger, isn't it? We don't like to get our hopes up, to have them dashed. It almost feels safer to not even dream, right? And do you know what? If you don't go 100% all the way, yeah, I agree. Don't have dreams. Don't tell your family all the great things you're going to do and dream about it, and just to be destroyed. My friends, if you fucking go for something, you fucking go for it, and you don't fucking quit until you fucking have it. Hands down, that's it, period. My friends, and that's the mentality you have to have. So don't just go spouting off. And that's why I always say this, right? And this is one of the foundations of magic, is to show, don't tell. Don't share your magic and what you're working on. I did it different with this and a few other things to show people, because that's my job here, is not just to entertain and make YouTube videos, but to teach and to uplift the Ashavans and the Magi to get to a place where they truly believe. So I have to put myself out on a limb. You talk about scary, my friends, but I've done it time and time again, and it always happens every time. My friends, because I'm like a pit bull on a bone. If I decide, all right, Megas, this is what you're going to do, then there's no pussing out. There's no backing down. If you have to break the world in half, then we will do this. And we do it. Now, here's something kind of funny that I'm going to show you as we get further into Asha 15, and we'll explain. So, giving true witness, a man will be saved. Only think and speak truth to yourself, Asha, and it will form the thoughts, the energy, the frequency, your subconscious beliefs. It will form. What do you really, really believe? Are you just hoping? Wouldn't that be nice? Or do you believe it with everything you have and won't let it go, even when outside circumstances aren't showing it? You got it locked in. It says, think God's highest idea of truth, Asha, and live. Keep the power of truth in mind. There's power in truth. Make it your model. Meaning, like Zarathustra said, I who am attuning myself to Asha, to Mazda, to wisdom, to truth. We find that frequency, and we attune our frequency where we're one with it. We become the God that no evil spirit can attack. We become Harvatat, the spirit of health, where sickness and disease dies if it even tries to touch me. We become a Meritat, God, life. My life is God. God is my life. What do I have to fear? Become one with it. That's that Vohumana, that Christ mind. Then trust God. And then just let it be, because it already is, right? That's our reason to believe. It already is. Everything else is a lie and illusion. Hold that truth by frequency. You'll see it already is. Don't worry or strive to make something happen. We talked about this 2 days ago. You guys love that. When you worry, you're praying for the worst outcome, because you believe something bad could happen. You're adding strong emotion. Worry is praying for the worst outcome, and it's rushing to you. What do you really believe? Now, here's what I want you to see. Don't strive to make something happen. Don't try and force it. Just align. Magic is just alignment. So when I was talking about like a pit bull on a bone, right? I'm going to make it happen. We don't do it by kicking a door down. We do it by, what's the word? Ferocious alignment. my friends, where it's like psychotic. It is a fine line between like a psychotic breakdown and spirituality. You know it's true, my friends. I don't care what religion. You can be a Christian, right? And you got a cold and a runny nose, and people ask, do you have a cold? You're all, no, I don't have a cold. By his stripes I am healed, and you're sneezing, and they're like, okay, well, just don't breathe on me. I mean, it's a little crazy. But sometimes you have to get there without falling off the edge, right? You either got it or you don't, my friends. It's beyond just speaking it. It's where you're speaking it because it is. My friends, if you got a cold, don't say you don't have a cold, but say what you truly are. Say, I am divine health. I am divine life. I am one with God good. God good can't get sick. I can't get sick. Be speaking it, but don't fall off that cliff. Right? Don't stop taking your medication if you're a diabetic and die. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this before. Not on our channel, but we've seen it in the world. My friend, it's a fine line. You have to have a guide. You have to be led by spirit. You have to be led by love. You need more than a crazy magus. You need to create that relationship with the all good spirit, with Asha, with the Holy Spirit, with Vohumana, the Christ mind, Jesus. You have to have that family of light loving you and teaching you and guiding you when to push, when to step back, find that flow. And sometimes I make it hard on myself, but it should be fairly easy. Life should be easy when you're aligned and in tune, but sometimes we push ourselves because I'm trying to show off something. I'll tell you some big things that came easy. One of my favorite stories I've been telling for 10 years because one of the first big miracles I saw, a guy I surfed with had OCD so bad from the time he was a kid, it was killing him. He had to drink himself blacked out drunk. And I told him, before I leave Florida, you'll be completely healed from it. He'd been to all the doctors, all the medication, everything since he was a kid. And he was just kind of almost like we were talking about earlier with prayer. That's a real nice sentiment. Thank you, Magus. But he didn't believe it. Before I left Florida, he ran up to me crying that he was completely healed. Kept in touch with him for years, completely healed, got his life back. We've seen the craziest miracles. I mean, people that were attacking a pretty young girl, trying to throw her in a car, they froze like statues. That wall of faith I put up that kept my son from going out into traffic. We've seen everything. Mental diseases healed, physical diseases healed. And it's nothing to do with me. It's when they have that aha moment of Asha. It's all Asha. It's all remembering. You know what? Magic really is just remembering, isn't it? It's magic. Write this down. This is genius. Magic is just remembering. Magic is just alignment. And magic is aligning with remembering who you really are, that you come from good spirit. You're made of good spirit. You and God are one, right? And you're having this aha moment of, I am Harvatat, the spirit of health, right? I'm Sharthavariya, divine dominion. I'm Asha, the capital T truth, and the lie cannot live in me or my world. I'm provided for. I'm protected. Why? Because the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind is perfection, is good. I'm meant to live in my good. It's not selfish. It's not wrong. Every day should be good. I should be living so good that I have extra to give, where I can now be a blessing to the rest of the world. Instead of just trying to get mine all the time, I got time and spare to give to others. I've got love to spare, peace to spare, knowledge and wisdom to spare. Because Asha is. Let's end with Asha 13, my favorite. Because it's everything. And it's so simple. Good is good, bad is bad. And never shall they meet. My friends, the world religions, they tell you, right? God loves and hate, can be at peace and war. Horrible stories in their books that they call the good book, the God book, that God wrote himself. I don't think so, because they're not good. God means the highest principle of good. Those aren't good books. They're not good stories. The original religion, that's a good book. Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea. There's nothing you'll read in these texts that don't make you think, oh my God, that's good. That's reasonable. That makes sense. You know, a lot of times they tell you to have faith. It's just something so stupid. You're not going to, they tell you, you know, that's above your pay grade. You can't figure it out. God's ways are higher than your ways. That's not higher. That's not better. That's not gooder. That's not godder. My friends, everything in our book makes sense. Good is good and bad is bad. The original word, the perfect creator's perfect idea, is that all good comes from the creator and no evil comes from him. From this original word, thought, frequency, energy, your spiritual world is made straight, right? This is the Magi magic. I'm attuning myself. I'm aligning with the spirit of truth, of Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea, the love without the hate, the peace without the war, the health, the life, the blessings, I create my atmosphere. I'm no longer a victim. And a lot of times we're the victim of our own subconscious. Just wrong thoughts we didn't even know were buried so deep and so strong from the Abrahamic religions, bad education, bad entertainment, bad ideas, my friends. And then, again, when you have the outside world confirming those bad thoughts, because the outside world will always confirm your inside thoughts, you have to start inside. Right? It's so simple. I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but it really helps you visualize it. If you're looking in a mirror and you don't like the reflection of you frowning and looking mad and upset at you, you don't try to change the mirror image. You start back here. You put a smile on your face and the mirror reflects it. Same with the world. You got to go inside, truly check your heart. What do you truly believe? Not think would be nice, not hope for, truly believe. Then your spiritual world becomes straight and the material world comes in order. The original word of false religion is that evil comes from the creator. And in this false idea is all the evil creatures suffer. And they'll try to clean this up. I went to Bible college and they have a course called apologetics. If you have to have a doctorate to justify the atrocities and horrible things in your book, that's a red flag, my friends. I mean, going in and killing men, women, and children, taking young girls as sex slaves. Horrible story. Stone your children. Terrible stories, but they'll give you a reason why that's good, that's godly. Lies, lies, lies. Those are the kind of lies, my friends, that'll keep you bound and you'll never have victory. I don't care if it's Abrahamic religion or some new age spirituality that has a mix. If you have a mixed deity, a mixed god, goddess, energy, source, whatever you want to call it, if that's what you've taken into you, that's what your world will look like. We have to go back to purity. It's not about, and that's why I go over the top sometimes. I'll say like shit on here and things, because I'm trying to show you it's not, that's not sin. That's not error. It might be ignorant, but it's not something that separates you from your good, right? It's the lie of those false religions, because they've lied so much. Now they have to come up with something bad, right? Don't eat that. Don't drink that. Don't do that. Things that don't seem that bad, but then they're fine with going to kill men, women, and children, bring back the spoils. Young women, sex slaves, that's fine. Little girls, my friends, horrible things, terrible stories. Your children are acting up, don't give them a timeout, hit them in the face with a rock and kill them. And they call that God, my friends. And then they have, but don't smoke, right? Don't say the F word. You know, silly things like that. I won't harp on that. I think if you're on this channel, you probably already know the difference from good is good and bad is bad. All right, guys, I hope you learned a little something about magic today. Magi magic. Number one, we restore God's energy, because to work in magic, you have to have a source of energy. And so we take the highest good, because we want the love without the hate. We want the peace without the war, right? We want the health without sickness and disease. We don't need a shitty life to be able to enjoy the good times. We want our baseline good times, and it gets gooder and gooder and gooder. That's the evolution we want here at the Order of the Magi and the Ashavans. So we restore God's image. We take that spirit into us. We attune ourselves to that. Then our world changes. That's Magi magic. I love you guys. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor. If you made it this long, go to the comments, say Asha is, and know I love you.